For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again, and welcome to another episode of the Atletico Madrid Career Mode series here on FIFA 15. Today we've got a transfer targets video. We do this at the start of every season now, something that we've added to the Career Mode series on FIFA 15. A couple of quick things to go through before we actually get through to the shortlist. We've had our season budget announced and objectives for the upcoming season. As you can see, the domestic cup objective is to win the cup, which is difficult considering the sort of sides that are in that cup towards the end of the season, but we'll try our best. Our budget so far for this year, our starting budget is £25.5 million, which is a lot less than we started with last year, and I'm hoping to drum up some extra money through sales of current players that we have at the club. So hopefully that can improve before we actually get to start to buying the sort of players that we want. They also want us to win the league title, the board, so they want a domestic double this year with a league and cup wins, so we'll try our best. We obviously came second this year, which is why the board said super season to me for the achievements we got this year in the cup, in the league rather. Of course, they wanted us to finish in the top three for a Champions League qualification, and we were able to come second. We should have won the league though, that's my fault really, but unfortunately coming second in the league, but still good enough to please the board. Unfortunately, and rather unsurprisingly, they were a little bit disappointed with both the Champions League and the domestic cup performances, but we got knocked out by Manchester City and Barcelona respectively, so we can't really complain too much, or at least we can't be blamed too much. We did come up against some very, very good opponents, and we gave a good account of ourselves in those two double-headed ties as well. We were just unlucky not to get through, but the Champions League expectation this year is to come to the semi-final. So we got to the quarters, was it last year against Man City, or was it the round of 16? I can't quite remember. It may even have been the round of 16. But we've got to do better this year in the Champions League. We've got to do better this year in the Spanish Super Cup, and we need to go one step better in La Liga as well. But transfer-wise, we've had one offer in on the first day from Man United for Alessio Cerci, but that's going to get rejected straight away. He's going absolutely nowhere. He's one of the best players we have on our squad, so he can stay put. But let's have a quick look at the transfer list to show you what I'm doing right now. And at the present, we have a few players on the transfer list, players that were out on loan last year in the shape of Lasquez, Baptistao, Perez, Toby Alderweireld. And then three players that were at the club last year that I'm going to move on: Jesus Gomez, Hector, the striker that won't see any football, and Mario Mandzukic, a player that was new to the club last year, but I just don't get on with him, so I'm going to move him on and bring in someone that I do get on with, or at least I think I can get on with. So hopefully we'll be able to use him, maybe even as a make-weight for an expensive player, or just to help boost our transfer budget. And also Aquino is going to go out on loan this year if I could possibly find a move for him, because I want to see what Oliver Torres is all about in the pre-season friendlies before we make any decisions with that particular part of our lineup. But our shortlist, we were looking for potentially a goalkeeper to replace a Black, who's terrible. We're looking for a centre-back for sure, perhaps a right-back as well, almost definitely a right-back as well, a holding mid, although we do have one in mind, and potentially a replacement for Mario Mandzukic as well. So this video is being made before you see last night's video, which is the Season 1 roundup, so we haven't had as many transfer suggestions yet as I think we might get into yesterday's video, so hopefully we could be able to add to this shortlist as we head through into the next week's worth of videos. But the main suggestion for goalkeeper so far was David De Gea. It's not realistic, but we are only going to be at Atleti for one more year, so I may try and then get De Gea in if I can get him for a decent price. That is. A couple of other keepers that we can bear in mind are Michel Vorm and Asmir Begovic as well. Begovic is actually signed for Atleti in the Chelsea career mode, so that would definitely be keeping with what FIFA deems realistic. So there are the three goalkeeping options. Right back, your obvious choices for a quick makeshift right back that we want to replace Juan Fran, who's decreasing in stats and decreasing in performances or level of performance, Danilo and Mattia De Sciglio. Of course, both good prospects, but decent enough to start in the first team already, and I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot more of one or either of these in other career modes later on this year, because there aren't that many decent right backs to go and sign this year. Centre back wise, we've got 3 suggestions so far, or 3 that I've got on the list. Leandro Castan is probably the second most favourite. Ezequiel Garay is probably the third. But my favourite centre-back to go for is going to be Ayman Abdennour. I really like playing with him, or I have really liked playing with him on head-to-head. So I do know that he's a quality player. The question is, can we get him in? So he's going to be my preference, although of course, as always, we will take into account anything that you guys put in the comment section as well. We haven't got too much money, that has to be bared in mind as well. Centre defensive mid-wise, or CM-wise, we've got 3 suggestions here. Luis Gustavo is probably not going to be the man I'm going to go for this series, because I am thinking about trying to bring him in a different series, and I don't want to go around just signing the same players again and again and again in each series, because that will just make it boring. So, but he is going to be an option here as kind of a backup. Miralem Pjanic is the main player we want to bring in for that CDM. Well, we just ran out of money in the previous January transfer window and weren't able to bring him in, but he's going to be the main player we want to bring in out of all of the positions at this particular window. And Alberto Costa, despite being 30 years old, obviously now players do continue to grow into their early 30s, and we know he can do the business in La Liga from the time he spent at Valencia, and I really do enjoy playing with him as well. So he's going to be my second backup for Miralem Pjanic, and if we can't get either of those, we'll get Gustavo or someone else that you guys might suggest in the comment section down below. But striker wise, we're having a look at Giovanni Dos Santos, obviously an extremely good player, can play up top or out wide as well, or behind in that cam role. Jovetic was suggested, but he has, as you can see, moved to Arsenal in the first season, sorry. So I'm not sure whether I'll actually be able to bring him in or not, and he probably won't be able to. But a player that has cropped up 2 or 3 times in the comment section is Javier Hernandez. Obviously was on loan at Real last year, and we know he's an extremely good finisher, a poacher of a player, and I am quite intrigued to see what he's going to be like. So I might try and bring Javier Hernandez in. I may even try a straight swap for Mario Mandzukic, although Mandzukic is valued more, so we might try and get some money for Mandzukic and then use some of it for Chicharito, and then use the rest of it to go towards one of the other players. But that's what I've got so far on my shortlist. Of course, we'll add to it and detract from it over the next few episodes as we head through the transfer window and I get more suggestions, etc. And my scouts come back with various different players. But for now, that is where we are. We will, of course, tomorrow advance further in the transfer window and try and get ourselves some signings if we possibly can. Still waiting for Mario Suarez to come back from anterior cruciate ligament damage, and unfortunately Emiliano Insua has come back from loan with a broken tibia and will be out for 5 months. So whichever right back we get will probably have to play a role at left back as well, because clearly we need some backup in the wing back positions, but that's not a problem. Silvio is going to be my starting right back now, and Juanfran will drop to the bench for the time being, or maybe even into the reserves for the time being, and then we'll put whoever we get in, whether that be Danilo or Decilio, as rotation players. Sequeira will start at left back, but they're the 2 positions that seem to be up for grabs right now with signings coming in. Godin and Miranda will remain the starting 2 centre backs, but we are looking for an extra player to come in for rotation purposes, because Jimenez, whilst decent, isn't as good as perhaps we need. And of course, Gabby will remain starting CM, but with Mario Suarez kind of trying to find his way back to form, if we can get Miralem Pjanic in, he'll slot straight into that starting lineup. And then the forward positions are kind of nailed down right now. And of course, the other striker we'll bring in will be as rotation with Higuain to replace the outgoing Mario Mandzukic. So that's where we stand right now, and hopefully we'll get some more suggestions in yesterday's video, which is coming out later today as I record this kind of weird timeline, and in this video as well. So let me know in the comment section who you think I should buy, whether you think there are any additions we can make to the shortlist, and I'll see what I can do over the next couple of episodes. But that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you've had a good weekend. There was my player earlier on today and yesterday as well, and of course a previous episode of this, if you missed it, will be as a link and as an annotation in the bottom left, and Chelsea career mode, if you missed any of that, will be on the channel page as well. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.